Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Ittle Dew 2. So, a couple of days have passed since I last played. I got distracted with trying to automate the cumbersome process of loading up and uh, automating the process of uploading videos on YouTube. It's such a nightmare. Really, if you have one video, minimum 7 minutes it takes you of doing a lot of repetitive work that should just be automated and so much simpler to have happen. So, in a funny way, I'll probably not really remember the controls so much, but well, let's see, do these reset when I die? Yes, they do. So it'll take me a little bit of time to warm up to this, I imagine. But that'll probably be it. And then we'll be back to where we were. Alright, so we need to kill this guy. And he does seem like he's probably taking some hits from his own eye blasts. We have a different kind of enemy. I have like no idea where we are at the moment. Oh, it's quite a lot of damage I took. Yeah, let's see. We're in the scrapyard, which in this map, there's always been this warp to the scrapyard. As far as loot goes, we've made 3 out of the 4 weapons and almost, I would say, slightly less than 2/3 of all the collectibles. That would be my guess as to where we really are in this whole system. And we are kind of just barreling through all of this. This really shouldn't be too hard to deal with, because if we do something like this and then this, I mean, not even really in a bad position to set yourself up, because let's see, well, I guess it's the 3 lines that becomes slightly a problem. See if I do this and then do this and then push that down. No, there really isn't a problem here, unless I need to push this cube all the way up this direction through a door, which doesn't seem like that's gonna work. The main issue here is gonna be just about, can I deflect? Boy, does this feel like this should have a Zelda-like shield to it. Like something fairly reflective. And that is something I would just say that we're constantly running into things that feel like homages to The Legend of Zelda, the original game, while still also missing a decent amount of even gameplay improvements that existed during that time in the NES era. And at a certain point, it feels like the game isn't just going its own way and doing something artistically different, and instead it feels very much like it is it is just wasting everybody's time and being a poorer product than what it could have been had it even learned from its elders, of which it seems fairly inspired by. So it looks like this scrapyard area is not that difficult. There we go, we'll just blow them up. Doesn't feel like the dynamite is doing anywhere as much damage as anything else. We've got the new blue headband. Now you deal more damage with your melee attacks. Okay, great. So we have a new headband to do more damage. That's great. And all. Where are we now? I think it's probably smarter just to run from here. And I assume we already got the other thing in this area? Now we have a new character talking to us, which we really didn't have a lot of that. Slayer Jenny. There's something there. It smells like adventurers. So, Frozen Court opens a whole different area. And we shouldn't be going there yet. When I'm getting hit, I think I am still taking damage to this. So, not only does it have a slow effect, it damages you. What we should do is think about turning off the easy battlers, or make sure that that is even still on. Easier combat is still on, so we'll have to think about at some point turning that off. Alright, and this direction. Yeah, even with that major increase in speed, we still really, well, increase in damage, not speed. We done this? Okay. This one's different. Alright, the problem now is this is in the way, and that'll kill me for sure. Although it does seem like it stays perfectly fine. So these do seem to be just like one-time hit items. This is really slow on the reaction time with those spikes too. One hit kills on these guys at least. That's nice. And so we're supposed to go in here. Are you gonna to the art exhibit? It's too dangerous. I disagreed with someone about the painting and they started attacking me. And we still can break a whole bunch of stuff. But it really does feel oddly just like the game is unfinished. Again, I don't know how you else would describe it. It really does just feel like they're throwing a lot of content here without having enough guidance or introduction. We probably should go and try and do one of the side puzzle levels, but those would be a nightmare. I say, what of you? I think I'll take a break from mapping for a while. And yeah, it seems like there's nothing else here. So on to the next section. And unless we really only finish the first act by getting the raft, this game really feels very short. Ittle says, "Wow, I love art exhibits. They're fragile statues and fragile paintings and fragile furniture. It smells like a dungeon to me. Try to be less fragile than the enemies. Are you kidding? I'm so tough. Even their salted sticks and plastic bottles will bounce right off of me." See, I would say in this Ittle Dew universe, it does seem like they're just kind of garbage tier characters, magical characters, and garbage tier weapons in a sense. I wouldn't say that this feels like there is a little girl who's probably not even called by the name Ittle, who is making up in her head that she's having this adventure, or that Ittle is supposed to be a kid and she's fighting with a stick because she's actually a child. Also, if you look at the animation, they didn't bother to recolor the headband from red to blue, so now these cutscenes are inaccurate. Also, probably wouldn't have changed the hairstyle if I'd used any of those outfits, so it really becomes questionable why those outfits existed. This will also probably be the first time we use the skeleton key, and we'll see if that comes back or if that's just infinite, if that gets used up. Yeah, unless there was a secret passage behind a door. Today's exhibit quotation marks. Say Cheese by MT Pockets. Fudgel Some Streak by Lemmy. You have to recognize that you can only bounce back attacks with this. Fragile Some Strike. This almost makes this game feel like it's created by some non-native English speaker. I don't know if that's the case, really. And we do know that those are explosives. So if I use this, that uses up my skeleton key, which might as well. I mean, you might as well. Now we're just going to be high on a key. Now we've got a secret passage. Hot Buns by Papagoya. And can I break all these? Doesn't look like I can. This puzzle opens a shortcut. You may not be able to solve this with your current items. Yeah. It does feel like what has happened here is a scenario where they've made every single level playable without ever actually collecting any of the items, which is an odd way to just not have learned a basic idea of Legend of Zelda. In the Legend of Zelda, you had to have some items to beat certain temples at a certain point. I think you did. Maybe it was a little inconsistent. Maybe it definitely didn't probably make that as clear as it could have. But there was some progress there, and it didn't hinder the development of the different temples. Rotten It by LJ Turnip. I doubt for a second any of the developers working on The Legend of Zelda thought to themselves, oh, we can't do this in this level because they may not have the bow or they may not have the boomerang. They probably left it very much to the player. Feels like a lot of this artwork might have been almost like Kickstarter backers or something. Just saying, hey, you want your art put in our game? Well, I'll highlight it for you. Let's see. What does this one say? Art installation Adventurer's Delight by T-Pose. Interesting. So now we have timers. Which I think, if I was to guess, the trick here is to go 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, and then there. We've got level 2 dynamite. It deals slightly more damage than before. Does that mean it has a higher damage ratio though? That would be the real question. Let's go through here. Mistakes by phone. Student art project cold steered by excitable student. Okay. Now remember, these are slide ones, so not really sure if we can do too much here. Yeah. Let's see what this is. Art installation Violent Revolution by O. Hamlet. Open another door. Just fall to your death without anybody even adding anything. It really feels like the game should give you health simply because you break things. But clearly we have some monster in this area. You're next, Ittle. Yep. So they're going to introduce a new creepy painting character, which is not bad, certainly. But it's fairly hard to have anything super new to say. So the trick to this puzzle is to simply not break this one. Which tells us, of course, when we do these puzzles in the future, we'll have to be fairly careful. Although, wait a minute, if I do that, then how would I have slid it the other way? Yeah, the explosion doesn't even account for something like that. So there must be another way to do this puzzle. And there's like no time slowdown mechanic, right? If I was to push this on top of that, I wouldn't really do anything. If I was to push it that way, I could never push it back. If I just blew up this one, wouldn't really help me. I've got to blow up this one. Okay. So you have to do this. Then push one up, push one back, and then go ahead and blow up this, and then push this here, do that, and go up and blow up this, and then push that one back, then push that one down, and then do that. That was a fairly complicated strategy. Like, some of these puzzles do feel tough. I do feel like that was the case in the first game too. Suggestion box bar artist day, or artist. Oddly, cannot break it. And here we have just a bunch of things that slide around and have no physics on it. Note to self, I can find and fully complete the first 7 dungeons in any order. Interesting. Yeah, these really do feel like just experiments. That they wanted to have little programming experiments and add them into the dungeon instead of having something more interesting. That was Tack Prostate Jack by Little Dude. Let's see. Have we done everything? Not quite. What does this put me? Secret item and true final boss, artist unknown. Well, that's what I'm talking about. So you can't see this. Even you can be art. It definitely feels like there's an achievement for doing this. Painted for exposure, unknown artist. So that was just a secret room for no reason. It does feel like that. Let's see. Tack Prost Jack. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, really. It's just a weird drawing of someone that looks a little bit like Ittle Dew. Outrageously expensive. Art installation Deep Meanings by J. Deere. Let's see. Here's the problem with any puzzle like this. Now that we have that dynamite, it's no longer a challenge at all. Because you can buy yourself a significant amount of time simply just by putting down the dynamite next to a item that needs to be triggered. Puzzle Fireplaces by Enlarge. Art Installation Security Measures by D-Way. Let's go ahead in here. does seem like there is. A lot of damage being done. And then that again looks like something that just they didn't animate to break. Which it kind of makes sense that they would cheap out and not animate breaking animations on everything. Next dungeon by L. Carver. Alright, so we're short a key. If we go and do a boss fight, performance arts by business as casual. I thought this guy was arrested. It's just a guy with suspenders that look oddly like they are part of his own flesh. Or are those suspenders, or is he just literally pulling super elongated nipples? I see, not precisely brilliant with typical classic post-neo-Renaissance undertones of his previous work, but close enough. Honestly, I don't feel like the first game was long enough or that popular enough to even be like this a niche cult following game. Not enough to justify the self-referential humor that we're saying. There's this Fear of Heights by Stoneface. Raise the Snakes by Jove. So, alright, there's one more puzzle, and we might as well just do everything. There's really seemingly no reason not to. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got a key, but we don't have any fire. Has there been any fire in this game at all? None of these activate with a flamethrower ability, do they? Because that would be weird. Come on, let's think this back. Was there any fire down here? Was there any fire in the secret place? Was there any fire down this way? No, there's no fire in this dungeon at all, so it's not like either one of these enemies or any of these enemies have a fire attack of any sense. So it does seem like we maybe are going to get some new ability that we may need to come back to this way. This looks like a new character. We have question marks around it. Hi, let's fight. That was quick. Aren't you going to introduce yourself? Maybe threaten us a little? We deserve at least a threat. Nah, you want my name? Just read the name tag. Her name is Linny. Talking to customers isn't part of my job. Wait a minute. If this is your job, who's your boss? Pestle, island caretaker, really grumpy guy. Who cares? Let's beat up Boxbun and get our raft beast. There we go. And it seems you can, with the level 2 dynamite, which maybe I was only supposed to have level 1 dynamite at this point, you can do a pretty massive amount of damage without really having to worry about taking hits. So yeah, that was a real easy fight, and it does make a question. Apparently she was half Ginny and half whatever those are called, fluffer things. Alright, toggle cleared. Okay. And I feel like we probably will come back to that at some point, but maybe it just doesn't matter. And now it's just a matter of figuring out how to get from one location to another location. Hey kid, if you've got a hidden cave marked with a green X on your map but don't know how to get inside, you might need a hint from someone in the area. Hee hee. You know what I think we should do? Is we should warp to Fancy Hilltop, which apparently... Oh, so it warps you back to wherever you were last? Interesting. Well, that warp is fairly useless. Unless you were just going to be a quick speedrunner. But what we can do is... You see, there are some green X's, which I clearly missed. And clearly are something. And I want to get back far to the left. And I think your best bet is to just kind of run that way. Yeah, I think that's my best option. Let's see. Yeah, there's a red X or green X above this point. And I don't see a way to get up there. We can kind of warp zone our way back. Alright. So it's time to take on one of these other ones, and this will suck, certainly. Still don't have an ability that would let us... It almost feels like we're going to be able to create ice blocks or something with that at some point. And clearly at some point we're going to be able to start to create fire and have a fire attack. And so all I can do right now is do this cave. Which, alright. This is going to be a little frustrating. Sinoscope or Sinscope. And apparently we lost our extra key, but we also lost our abilities. Here, we don't have the other thing. the magic wand. We're just going to be using explosions and the stick. We're almost certainly going to be keeping and using the stick in all of them. It feels very mechanical in the sound effects. Yeah. I think I kind of understand what's gonna happen here. But you can't put down multiple explosions, multiple dynamites. So this does look a little demonic and creepy. Can't push any of these. We'd have to hit all 3 of these. And they don't want to move. I may not be able to do this. It may just not be possible with my current equipment. Let's see. Can we hit this? Most of this dungeon is built around the 3 special clocks. None of these puzzles is here to require you to listen to any sound, so look carefully for anything resembling a sheet of musical notes. What? None of the puzzles in here require you to listen to any sounds, so look carefully for anything resembling a sheet of musical notes. That makes very little sense. Why you would be looking for that if you don't need it. And I can't roll over an edge. I can't push these blocks. So this might be proved to actually be easier than it seemed like it was gonna be. Just in the sense that might be a little less to do here. And see, unless this is just a terrible computer programming issue and that these are supposed to be awake a lot longer, which I can't really believe that to be the case, because if that was supposed to be the case, then I don't get it. So yeah, it doesn't seem like there's anything here. Let's So they were saying that if you could get in these rooms, you could solve these puzzles. I am saying I don't think that's true. I think this is missing some upgrade on the stick that would make that much more doable. Like, you can put this and you can slide this outside. That's about all you can do. So I can put that down and then try and have it hit that but it's probably not gonna work. And it's not heavy enough to even explode things anyways. And that won't work. Well, that makes it easier, certainly. If you just can't do that level. Seems odd that you can't do that level. It still seems like there's plenty of places where you can do like some cleanup. So, Star Woods, is this the right direction? Yeah. It really does feel like you should be able to do some major cleanup and have more abilities and more things collected earlier on. Yeah, nothing's gonna stop me from doing that. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see, how many of those do we have, by the way? Let's see, look at the loot. 6, so 2 more secret things might unlock something new. And there really is just stuff everywhere. This is a hard area to be thorough with, considering there's just such a large number of strong characters wandering around. Oh, we meet again. There's supposed to be a cave around here, that leads to the southmost part of the Star Woods. Where could it be? Let's go ahead and take this. Got a cave scroll. And inside of this we've got some more garbage. Girls' crowns are the best. There's some in the northeastern Pepperpain Prairie and some in the eastern Loyal Road. Girl, not girls. It really sucks that every time you have to do this, you have to clear the toggle because it won't save it. So there's like a whole section, basically, that I'm being less than proactive about going around. I assume there's nothing in there. Let's go and see what's in this area. This bag is full of old hints. Oh, a real-life adventurer. Here's my hint. Look out. Look for things that seem to be out of place in Frozen Court. Okay. So they seemed like they weren't willing to lose any screen real estate. East Frozen Court, beware of Slayer Ginny. So we've got some tentacle arms popping up. And then here I hear a sound effect of a ghost. But apparently I don't have an ability to see the ghost yet. This again brings us to... Let's see. Oh, it's a stick plantation. Seems like there's a whole bunch of stuff here. Where does this one lead us? All over the place. These guys are hitting fairly hard. And yes, this is what I wanted more than anything. See if there's just a cave in here. Don't tell anyone, but I've seen 2 ghosts around here. Only one appears in the day and one appears at night. Interesting. Where are we going with this? That doesn't do anything. There we go. Another cave skull. Okay, so let's go here. Now we can get to Frozen Court. Now we can go back to Starwood. Set up our point here. And yeah, we'll just have to decide how much it really is worth our effort to run around before we do the final dungeon. Trash cave, beware of rot nips. This does look like this is a rather large cave compared to all the others, which might mean something. As far as I know, we were trying to get like 6 or 8 pieces of the raft, not 4. So maybe we'll finally get our final ability. We won't get any more of these trading cards until we can do that puzzle area. We could probably find secret shards all over the place. I wouldn't even be surprised if it turns out that we get 8 secret shards and it just unlocks 1 secret, but there's 2 or 3 secrets in the entire game. There's clearly at least 4 other items to collect. I'm a little surprised we don't have a boss tracker. Well, no, actually we already do have that, so just by default the map tells you where the dungeons are, and the boss tracker tells you where bosses are, so there's really nothing more you can ask for in that. So, yep, this is where we'll end. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and get me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.